From WFRV TV, Local 5, serving Northeast Wisconsin, including Green Bay, Fox Cities, and the Lakeshore. This is Newsmaker Sunday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us for Newsmaker Sunday. I'm Tom Zalaski. Housing, it is a topic that's been brought up often on this program as we talk to city officials about housing in their particular cities. This morning we speak with a group that provides services to help people to get into and stay in their own home. And joining us this morning, Noel Halverson and Teresa Adler, who are here from NeighborWorks Green Bay. Good morning to both of you. Thanks so much for being here. Let me start, Teresa, with you. Your personal and professional path to get to where you are right now in your position.
Sure. So I am the Resource Development Director at NeighborWorks Green Bay. I started raising money in 2006, which is kind of wild to think about. So I've been working at a number of nonprofits in the Madison area, but we relocated to come back to Green Bay. I grew up in De Pere in 2017. Was really blessed to work at the Catholic Foundation for the Diocese of Green Bay, and joined NeighborWorks Green Bay in February of this year. It's been a wild ride, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
And Noel?
Yeah, I came up here in the 80s to go to school at UW Green Bay, and I started interning at City Hall as a planner. Got a job there as a land use planner and doing demographic analysis, and worked with NeighborWorks as a business partner providing information and data about the city. And then I bought a house with assistance from the organization in the mid-90s. Yeah, I was a client and started volunteering after that. And a couple of years later, the position opened up, and I decided to move from the public sector to the not-for-profit sector, and I've been there 23 years now.
So what is it about this nonprofit sector that attracts you? What brought you to this business?
Go ahead.
Either one.
I would say this is so important to me because making an impact in our community, making the place we live and love a better place, there's nothing better in the world. Yeah. So it's really a gift to be able to do this for a living.
And Noel, I take it you're here because, as you said, you were a client.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have been able to purchase a home without going through that class, going through the education, and learning the process. And you know, it was humbling and rewarding. I had to work on some credit issues to get mortgage ready and do some other things. The same sort of conversations we're having with clients today. But it was really exciting, and the fact that at NeighborWorks we help people achieve their dreams of home ownership, but we also fix up houses, we build homes, all that sort of stuff was, when I was working as a planner, I was envisioning that future city, that future community we could build, and then at NeighborWorks I get to kind of get hands-on and really build it.
Does NeighborWorks have a mission?
Yes. Yeah, our mission is to solve housing challenges and build stronger communities.
So what specifically do you do? I mean, if I'm a client, I need your services, I come to you. What do you do for me?
We do a whole bunch of things, but most folks know us by our homebuyer education and counseling and our down payment and closing cost assistance. So that is a really big part of what we do, is helping people get the information to be armed with everything they need to make the best decisions for their family and getting in a home.
And your organization started back in 1982. You've got some incredible numbers here in terms of people that you have educated and counseled. How many people have come through in and out your doors?
Yeah, I just refreshed these numbers through the end of the last quarter, and we've provided education and counseling services to people aspiring to attain homeownership or sustain their homeownership. 20,833 families over the last 41 years.
My goodness. More than 20,000.
More than 20,000, and we've helped 3,831 families buy homes.
And you not only help prospective home buyers, but you also help existing homeowners.
Right.
True?
Yes.
Why do existing homeowners need help? What do they need you for if they already have a home?
Well, we like to provide, a listening ear to somebody who might be experiencing some pinch in their ability to sustain home ownership.
Yep.
Sometimes a family member loses a job, or the marriage ends, or there's medical bills or something like that, and people are wondering how they're going to maintain their home ownership. They can call us. We've got counselors trained in sustaining home ownership, and even if it's not possible anymore because they're going to face a foreclosure or something else, we can help them make smart decisions now that'll ease that transition to some other housing option. And so we do serve folks, with a variety of services, including reverse mortgages or home equity conversion mortgages, where somebody maybe wants to tap some of that equity they built in later years for some of their living expenses. We can help them figure out how to do that.
Noel, do you let on to your clients that you've been there?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Does that make them feel better?
It does, and I'm not alone. I mean, we've had a number of staff over the years, a number of volunteers with the organization who started out as customers, who started out as somebody who went through that home buying journey, got some valuable counseling and education from NeighborWorks, and then decided to give back to the organization by helping advance the mission.
That has to make people feel really good when they know we're not just talking to some higher up or some CEO.
Yeah, and I think it's also really important to make sure that everybody understands that NeighborWorks Green Bay, is there for everybody. It's not just low-income people. How many times does somebody buy a house in their life? A lot of folks, it's only once. Yeah. And how do you get good at something you do only once? You really don't, but you can talk to us, and we talk to hundreds of families a year. We know what's going on. We understand what's going on in the mortgage market. We understand the housing market, and we help people make smart decisions, whether it's their first home, their second home, whether they're a high earner or they're a real modest income household.
We are back with NeighborWorks Green Bay. Much more to come, so please stay right there. We are back now with Noel Halverson and Teresa Adler of the NeighborWorks Green Bay. NeighborWorks Green Bay, it's a community housing development organization. For the viewers at home, what does that mean?
That means that the city has identified us as an organization that is particularly responsive to the residents of low and moderate income neighborhoods. So when we were formed, and we follow a national model of a partnership between residents, financial institutions, and local government. And so our board of directors has people who live in the neighborhood, people who work for a bank, people who work at City Hall, and we all get together and figure out how best to serve the community. But we ask that community about how we're doing, what the needs and challenges are, and what opportunities we might have to get things done. And that is what gives us that Community Housing Development Organization, or CHODO status. It means that we're particularly responsive to and led by, ultimately, the residents that we're trying to serve.
How big of a housing problem do we have in Green Bay?
We are experiencing the housing crisis here at home. There was a housing study done in 2020 that we are short 7,366 homes by the year 2040, and that's in a conservative growth. Right?
Really?
That's a lot of places for a lot of people that need a good, safe, affordable place to live.
Mm-hmm. And in your eyes, what do you consider to be affordable housing? And I use quotations. Mm-hmm. What's affordable housing? Because what's affordable housing to me is different than the CEO of some major company, and it's different than somebody who is just on welfare.
Yeah.
What's that line?
And so we can look at affordability as a general rule of thumb that says, in order to be able to afford to live, you shouldn't be paying more than 30% of your income on housing expenses, whether that's your rent or whether that's a mortgage payment, the insurance, the other things that you've got to pay to occupy that home. And so we look at that, and we've got thousands of area families, number one, that are housing cost burdened, that are paying more than 30% of their income to make rent, to make the mortgage payment, and what have you. But then we also have people that are trying to move to the area to get it because there's jobs here, or they're trying to get move into a different neighborhood, and they can't find a home that meets their needs because they're either priced out of the market because the housing costs are too high, or right now with interest rates being as high as they are, it's exacerbating the challenge for lots of families.
Sure. This was something that surprised me. Your organization owns a few hundred housing units that are for low-income people. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, so we have about 255 apartments in a variety of properties. Some of them are duplexes, and some of them are larger multifamily properties. Yeah. And then we often serve very low-income households in those properties, or people with special needs of one sort or another.
Low-income special needs. Do you have any stories that come to mind about someone you have helped?
You know, I think there are a few, and I remember. You know, one, it was actually a project we did in partnership with Habitat for Humanity. We had a woman who was working with us. She really wanted to be a homeowner. She had some challenges, and she spent 3 years working with us, saving money, building her credit, doing other things. And then eventually we volunteered to help Habitat build a house that she ended up buying. And so it was really a neat story. It's like every tool in our community's toolbox came to bear, you know, was brought to bear to help her purchase a home. Yeah. It was really exciting.
How closely do you work with, say, you know, neighborhood residents or government or businesses?
Well, we have, and I'm sorry, we have a program that serves neighborhood associations, and we actually provide support to dozens of neighborhood associations in 4 counties, including you know, over 30 of them right here in Green Bay, and support their umbrella organization called Green Bay Neighborhoods, which is a kind of a coalition of active neighborhood associations here in Green Bay. And you know, we help coordinate grants to them, activity at Arsenal where they can come and get canopies or games to play at a picnic or do some other event. We store that in one of our buildings, and really try and work to help bring neighbors together and then get out of their way as they start dreaming up things to do.
Yeah, Teresa, do you think people know you're out there, that this is available?
That is an excellent question, and I don't think enough people do.
No, no.
I always lead with saying, have you heard of NeighborWorks Green Bay? Let me tell you a little bit about what we do. We've been around since 1982, and it has always been so much fun to explain the good work that we do in the community and that we've been doing for decades. But one of my favorite ways to think about this, because I'm relatively new, one of my favorite ways to think about this is we help people love where they live, right?
Sure.
From neighborhood association help to safe and affordable rental units to building and remodeling homes and the homebuyer education and counseling, all of those things come together to help people really love where they live.
NeighborWorks Green Bay. Our discussion continues right after this, so please stay with us. Back now with Noel Halverson and Teresa Adler of the NeighborWorks Green Bay. Talk about some of the programs you have here. First, let me start with the current housing landscape in Northeast Wisconsin and what you're doing to help out. I mean, the home buyer education and counseling program. What is that?
So once a month, we have virtual classes on the first Monday and Tuesday where folks can connect from the comfort of their own homes. But if they happen to have some challenges with internet access, we can always have them and invite them into our offices as well to go through the 2 sessions of homebuyer education. So we've got folks come in that are realtors to help talk to folks. We've got our own housing counselors, our HUD certified housing counselors that lead part of the classes. We've got mortgage brokers that come in and help talk about that process as well. I tell you, I purchased a home without going through homebuyer education and counseling. Took the class when I first started at NeighborWorks Green Bay, was blown away by the information that, boy, would have been really helpful if I had had that out the gate. So it is a fantastic class and really helps people right where they're at. There's small group breakouts within that virtual session, so folks can really talk with one another about where they are in their journey. And then once those classes are finished, there's the option to go through one-on-one counseling with our certified counselors, and they've got those one-on-one sessions to go through budgeting and really get into the nitty-gritty to help those folks buy a home.
I mean, you know, at first glance, it almost sounds and seems like your organization is for quote-unquote, you know, low income. But what you're saying, it sounds as though anybody who is about to buy a home really ought to get a hold of you and take
Absolutely.
this class.
Yep.
Absolutely. It is for everyone, because this information, no matter who you are, to be armed with the information to help you make a good decision for your family, be it with a starter home or a home that's $500,000. It really is for everyone, and everyone is better when they've got the good information to operate on.
We had 682 families take that class last year.
Wow. And in this day and age, a starter home is probably $500,000.
It feels like that, doesn't it?
It gets that way sometimes. Another program, Door County Workforce Housing Lending Corporation. What's that about?
So a couple of years ago, WHEDA, the Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Authority, thought about how they're serving rural communities across Wisconsin, and they realized they needed to do better, and so they sent out communications to communities across the state saying, we want some ideas for pilot projects where we can try and do more to serve the workforce housing needs in rural Wisconsin. And NeighborWorks Green Bay partnered with the Door County Community Foundation, local government representatives up there, and a whole bunch of community folks to put together a proposal to WHEDA, and we were selected as one of 3 pilot projects across the state. And our efforts led to the development of the Workforce Housing Lending Corporation. It's a spin-off of NeighborWorks Green Bay in partnership with the Door County Community Foundation. And we're assembling a pool of capital that's going to be millions of dollars by the time it's all raised. And we'll use that money to make loans to third-party developers who might not otherwise build in Door County, or who might otherwise build only market rate housing in Door County, to set aside some of those units for more modest income families who've got year-round jobs up there. We're really frustrated at seeing communities where people can't afford to live in the community they work in, and we really want to make a difference there. And so this project and the Workforce Housing Lending Corporation is aiming to move the needle on that.
And you've also partnered with the Packers. How did they get involved in this?
We have. We are a very proud recipient of a Green Bay Packer Foundation Impact Grant in support of our multifamily mutual campaign. So this campaign is for safe, affordable multifamily housing, and it is really a joy to have their vote of confidence and their support for the work that we do.
Oh, that's great. We are back to wrap up with NeighborWorks Green Bay right after this. Stay right there. We are back now with Noel Halverson and Teresa Adler of NeighborWorks Green Bay. Several weeks ago, you took part in an event called Good Neighbor Week. What was that? How did it go?
It was fantastic. So Good Neighbor Week is a week where our neighborhood associations come together. It's a collaborative effort between NeighborWorks Green Bay neighborhoods, and the city of Green Bay to do a whole bunch of good for our neighbors.
And I'm watching you do it.
Yes, absolutely. So we completed through the week 8 projects for neighbors that were nominated by their own neighbors for projects like landscaping and painting and stair fixing. And it was just such a joy to be able to see how proud the homeowners were when those projects were completed.
Your funding, what do you rely on most? Do you rely on donations? Is it state? Is it federal? Business partners? Where's the cash coming from?
Yeah, so we get about 20% of our funding from government grants. Okay. Most of that money goes right back out the door in that down payment and closing cost assistance to families or into the houses that we're building and selling in the community. About 14% comes from gifts from private donors and foundations, and 66% of our revenue is actually earned income, fees that we get when we're doing business, the rents we collect in our rental properties, and other earned income. So we're really pretty sustainable as far as not-for-profits go. We're not wholly dependent on one source of funding from the community, but the gifts and support from the community and those grants, they are the key limiting factor in terms of our ability to get things done, because it's tough to get those dollars.
Yeah. Do you look for volunteers, or is it just paid staff?
Oh, we love to have volunteers. Yeah, we had 361 volunteers work with us last year.
And what will they be doing?
Well, some of it is the Good Neighbor Week stuff that we just saw, scraping paint and raking leaves. But we have committees that look at the development of real estate projects. We've got the committees that watch the finances and make sure that we're staying in there, staying safe and healthy as an organization. The board of directors, other volunteers across the community, really helping advance the mission.
All right, now you got the annual celebration coming up.
Yes.
When is that? What do you do there?
It is the evening of November 2nd at the Ravine in Green Bay. We are so excited to invite the community to come and celebrate the incredible work that we all came together to do last year. We've got some awards to give out, which are very exciting. And it's really just a time to get together and think about the work that we have completed and dream about what we're going to do in the future.
So someone watching out there right now who thought that this was just for low income, and they're realizing, wait a minute, I'm coming to Green Bay to buy a house. How can they get a hold of you? Is it through a website, through your phone number?
Yes, they could go to our website, nwgreenbay.org. And also, just note, it's not just for folks living in Green Bay. Over the last 5 years, we've served families across 55 counties in Wisconsin. And so, not all of that's accompanied with some down payment assistance. That tends to be more focused in the Green Bay metro area. But anybody who's got a question about whether homeownership is a good option for them, how they might go about doing it, or if they're already homeowners and they're concerned about sustainability, go to our website, pick up the phone, give us a call, and we'll see what we can do to help.
All right, Noel, Teresa, thank you so very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Good information. If you have a newsmaker in your town who you think we should have on this program, let us know about it. Send us an email to tips@wearegreenbay.com, or you can message us on Facebook. And be sure to join us once again Sunday morning at 7. Until then, have a great day.